This episode is sponsored by iTunes. Go to www.cheapseatreviews.com. Click on the iTunes button, purchase anything you want, and a small portion will go to this podcast.
This is the story of me, Jack. There I am, absolutely shitting it. I'd been carrying a carving knife around with me for 3 weeks due to an irrational fear of being murdered.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is CheapSeat Reviews.
Well, hello, and thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry, the Hollywood film industry for the greater good. This is episode 86, and today we're talking about a fantastic fear of everything. Thank you for my Foley work there.
That was Sean absolutely shitting himself.
Right. I don't know what's happening, but that was great. Thank you. What is happening? I don't know. I am Sean Orrid, and joining me tonight is Corny. Is that a knife in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me, Logan?
You can get a slice of this, baby.
No. You weirdo. Andrew. Ovens are not meant for drying clothes, Jimison.
I do it all the time.
I'm sorry, pal. And Sam, a Swede scrotum vector.
Oh, God.
I thought it was a Swede.
Oh.
No,
Well, if one thing I did learn from this movie is I want Simon Pegg to read my children stories at night.
Yes.
Okay.
For the rest of their childhood. I'm going to leave it up to Simon Pegg.
There was a moment that I recorded later when he was It was his voiceover, but
Yeah.
it read to me like if I closed my eyes. You remember in World of Warcraft when you would type /joke? Like I felt like he was telling a joke as a character from World of Warcraft. We'll play that later. At least that's what it made me think of. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No Chad tonight. Chad is moving into his brand new, newly built house tonight.
His multi-million-dollar home.
Yes. As a band director.
Multi-million quarter home.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It took millions of quarters to build it, and probably, maybe not millions.
You know, he's a pinball wizard. And
yeah, he is that. And a foosball champion when he gets a little drunk. But he is not here tonight. So once again, Andrew Jimison is pinch hitting. I can't talk tonight. Good gracious.
Is it? No, okay.
Not to be confused with pinching it off.
No, he's not doing that. Well, he might be. I don't know.
shut it.
You just want me to play it, don't
Yes,
you?
I do, actually.
No, okay, well, then here you go.
How can this be for the greater good? Shut it!
Okay, there you go. This is the fantastic fear of everything. This is a 2000 and somethings. I don't have it in front of me. 2012's a fantastic
Wow,
fear.
so it's a fairly recent movie.
Yeah. And what is this movie, you say? Well, Catherine will tell us.
A fantastic fear of everything. A crime novelist whose research on Victorian serial killers has turned him into a paranoid wreck must confront his worst fears when a film executive takes a sudden interest in his movie script.
That's right. That's it. That's the movie. And we're done. Good night, folks. No, that's it. I'm just kidding. This movie was that. It had starred Simon Pegg, and I wish it had. Yeah, again, I did not mean for that to happen when I was creating the list of movies to watch. I mean, not me, the committee that we pay.
The independent consultant
Right.
that chooses all our movies.
Yeah.
It's a couple of drunk guys.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. It stars Simon Pegg and a bunch of other people I've never heard of or care for. I kind of wish Nick Frost was the cop in this movie because it would have been funnier.
Yes.
But maybe.
But then you would have known something was up with the cop.
Yeah, and I think
Ben Nick Frost.
You're right, and I think also people would have like, oh, this is the sequel to Hot Fuzz or something, you know.
Yes.
So maybe it's why they didn't.
Hotter
do that.
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Fuzz on fire.
Fuzz, hot fuzzier.
Yeah.
And then Hot Fuzz with a vengeance.
Hot Fuzz with a vengeance.
Hotter Fuzz.
Hotter Fuzz. It's a good day to Hot Fuzz.
A good day to fuzz.
What's the
or the prequel? You know, you got warm.
Live free or die fuzz.
warm
Scruffles.
It's illegal in most states.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant. Warm Scruffles.
That's not what you want.
But anyway, so yeah, any of us had seen this movie? Had any of us seen this movie?
No.
I had watched it like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. You weren't the one that made us watch this, were you? It was, I think, Jen. Or was it AOL Dave? I can't remember now. AOL Jeff, not Dave. Sorry. There can't be more than two people out there with AOL.
I know. Well, it wouldn't come through if it were.
Actually, you now both know a Dave who does AOL.
That's true.
So there are at least two. But I know he doesn't listen to this podcast or know how to listen to this podcast. So
Because he's still on AOL.
yeah, among other
Well,
things.
he downloaded our first episode, I think, 3 weeks ago, and he's up to 20%. So, he's well on the
way. Oh, I wish he listened to this show. Mainly, in serious note, Dave is a good guy, but he made me watch this movie not this movie, but he made me watch a movie called Hollywood Nights, which he claimed was the greatest film he had ever made or ever seen, ever made by humans. And it is the biggest piece of shite I have ever seen.
Including Poltergeist.
Excluding Poltergeist or
Rubber.
Children of the Corn.
Rubber.
Children of the Corn?
Well, so it's supposed to be, it's an 80s comedy, right? Do you guys remember the Ernest movies, the Ernest P. World movies?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the fat guy that could do his eyes twitchy, whatever?
Yeah.
You know, so he's a cop in this movie too, but he's a bumbling cop who's chasing these kids throughout town as they relive like their last night of freedom, whatever. And it makes really no sense. And the guy who was we just saw him in Batman. What's his face?
Dwight Yoakam.
The reporter. Who? What'd you say?
Huh?
The reporter, not the girl, but the guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Porkins.
Knox. No, not Knox. Not Porkins. He was the cop. Knox. You know what I'm talking about? Knox? The guy who was hitting on the girl the whole time? Anyway, he's like the main star in that movie. It's terrible. Anyway. And then I think I complained about this like a couple of weeks ago. Then he sends me a text and says that Pacific Rim is the greatest movie he's now ever seen. I just want to throw things at him.
Wow.
That's okay. But
there's also a reason why some of these idiotic movies make so much money. There's people out there to watch them.
That's true. There's a key for every hole or something like that. I don't know. Since Chad is not here tonight, Andrew, I will let you go first. You had obviously seen this before, so when was does it hold up still, or what'd you think? What's your initial impression?
Oh, shit. Sorry, there's a mosquito. It's like right on my face. The movie. I saw it, I don't know, I was like home over the summer, bored out of my mind, and I saw it and I thought, well, it's Simon Pegg, I'll give it a watch. And, it had its moments to me. I thought it was kind of funny. And I'm a big Simon Pegg fan. What the hell?
One of our listeners just went, that bug's still in the house.
The funny part
There's
was
a giant ass mosquito.
Well, when I first heard it, it almost sounded like feedback. I'm like, how in the world could we be having feedback? We're all wearing headphones. And then it creeped back in again as Andrew leaned forward back into the microphone. I was like, this is not making sense. And then of course, then the giant ass mosquito came and killed Andrew. Sam and his damn Foley work.
Damn it,
Tis
Foley.
the season.
There were moments of this I took away. I liked. So there were a lot of moments that I didn't, but there were. I thought I did. I thought it had some funny. It made me chuckle, maybe laugh.
Okay. Corny.
All right, so for the most of this movie, I was not very pleased. It was turning into a movie that I'd probably never see again. And then, of course, the ending happened, and then it all kind of started to make sense to me. I did like the fact that it did mess with your mind and made you see things that either was or wasn't there. And then, obviously, with the twist at the end, then things kind of came together. But for the most part, as a first-time watcher, I was pleased with the movie. It wasn't awful, it wasn't terrible. But I think that if you could have sped this up at the beginning, I think it might have been a little bit better. So,
all right,
Simon Pegg forever.
Nice, Sam.
This is my first time seeing this movie, and probably the last time seeing this movie. Was bored out of my mind through most of it. There were a few clever scenes, like Andrew and Corny mentioned. Towards the end, it does pick up a little bit of steam. It gets interesting. But the whole time he's stuck in his apartment, I wanted to just turn it off. I was so bored. And it might have been just my mood these past few days, but I just wanted to kick in my TV. But just how it just seemed dumb to me for the longest time. Now, it did get kind of interesting with the, kind of like Corny said, you started to see things in the background, kind of like he was seeing all these things around him trying to kill him. But I don't know. It was just weird. The biggest thing I took away from this is I want to read more about this little hedgehog.
Yeah.
And I want to figure out how because it's an adult story.
Killed him.
It's great, and I want to read more of this little hedgehog stories. So that's kind of my take on it. I think it was produced well. I like the visuals. It would be nice if he used a little bit of bleach on his laundry, but he forgot the soap to begin with.
Some nasty straws.
But
was he naked under his trench coat?
No, he had like other clothes on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was interesting. And did you get the sense that the guy he was supposed to meet was a serial killer too?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
everyone in
absolutely.
this movie, I assumed, is a serial killer,
Okay, all right.
except the pretty girl at the end.
Yeah,
Give her
she
time.
was pretty.
Give her time. She will be.
Yeah, she keeps dating Simon Pegg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny that at the end of the movie, we're jumping to the end here, but they do that thing in movies when, like, you know how in movies where some guy starts to say a sentence and then you cut to the next scene and he finishes the sentence. It's always like, if we get out of this, will you have dinner with me? He had enough time to write a book, have it published, and then have it distributed to the world so that people care enough about it to come to a book signing and reading, and he still hasn't taken her to dinner? I mean, that's 6 or 7. I mean, his hair had grown back.
You know what? That's how he rolls.
You know what I'm saying? He's
an OG gangster.
It's a long time for her to just
Well,
hang around.
they say it takes a long time for guys to text back, to girls. It's kind of that.
The text
that
is
same
like
thing.
the 3-day rule or something like that. So I guess if you get almost murdered by a serial killer, then it's like a 9-month. It was.
But was he really a serial killer?
Technically, no, he wasn't. He
No.
was just trying to be.
Bless you.
Well, I turned off the microphone,
Yeah,
so
I know.
no one would know. So
I thought you were turning east and praying to Mecca for a minute. I didn't know what was going on there.
Sean's down like that.
actually, that's south, but anyway. No, actually, that is west. It's west. Anyway. No, wait. That actually is east. Holy crap! Now I think about it, that's funny. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna ask you not to do that anymore.
This podcast is starting to get creepy.
Well, we are in our October month.
Yeah, were you done, Sam?
Yeah, I'm done. How about you?
So I'm actually almost 1,000% with you, Sam. I was bored, especially at the beginning. I have seen the movie Requiem for a Dream, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And the first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie made me think of that movie, which pissed me off. Because, and here's the thing, you have that whole what's it called, like expectations meets reality. Like if you're a football fan and you think that your team is going to be really, really good and they go 5-11, then you're kind of pissed off because you had
Yeah.
expectations. Or on the other side of that, good friend Billy and myself, we went and saw the new Fantastic Four movie. We had zero expectations, and so therefore, when it turned out to be a pile of shit, we didn't care because we had no expectations. So, with that being said, last year when we did our October, movies, we watched The Frighteners.
Yep.
And it's become one of my favorite Halloween movies. Like I love that movie. I can't wait to watch it again this Halloween. So I was hoping that this would be that, because of the
I hope this. I was the same way. I was like, this is going to be our undiscovered movie that nobody has seen, and it's going to be amazing.
Right? Like, yeah, exactly. This is going to be that thing when we mention it to other people, they go, "Oh, I heard about that thing, but I don't know much about it," or something like that. And then there'd be that one weird guy who's like, "Oh, this is my favorite Halloween movie ever." I don't know why he has that weird accent, but he does.
Is he partially German?
I don't think so.
German redneck.
Yeah, that probably is a thing. I don't know.
Yeehaw!
Maybe that's what Hitler was. Who knows? He was the last.
Oh dear.
1-star reviews from
German
Hitler.
From neo-Nazis? Fine.
Yeah.
You can give us a 5-star review when we watch.
Go back to the moon where you came from.
Yeah, when we watch Iron Sky Director's Cut, you can give us 5-star reviews then.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So
Yeah.
yeah, with the pigs in the blanket.
In outer space.
I'm at the moon.
Moon over my hammy.
Yeah. Where was I going? Shoot.
Expectations.
Yeah, the expectations. So I had high expectations, especially since Hot Fuzz was so flippin' awesome.
Yes.
Again, this movie. Now, people, please, I understand. I love your hate mail, which is great, by the way. The comparison I'm about to do, just pump your brakes, okay? But this movie pulled a Pulp Fiction. I was bored for the majority of the movie, and then all of a sudden there's a weird kidnapping, and I mean this thing only was missing a gimp, right? At the end,
I'm pretty sure we had one if you think hard enough.
Well, I mean, maybe the mannequin that was pretending to be his grandmother was the gimp. I don't know, but when that moment
There was
happened,
a weird person in that laundromat.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that was when we got to that moment, I became interested in the movie, but it took a long time to get there.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
So what my point? So I don't want to say you're saying that Pulp Fiction's a great film, blah blah blah. I'm not saying that. I still don't particularly like Pulp Fiction, but I understand that it is a great film. This is not that. But it had some moments that were really good, which we will now talk about. Because I want to talk about some of the good. The stop motion of the hedgehog animation was awesome.
Yes.
It was great. I went in the intro, the opening intro, the scene and the look and the feel, and I was like, I'm getting a Tim Burton film.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm getting a Neil Gaiman movie, getting like another Coraline. Like I was excited. Like, oh, we're getting a non-singing version of Sweeney Todd. Like this is gonna be cool, right? And the music was very Tim Burton-y, and then that all stopped, right?
Yeah. Why did they use? They needed to use more of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think the film wasn't designed to be that. So I think if we had gotten that, it would have been a little.
Well, then don't give me that. Don't
That's
tease
true.
me that, right? Don't.
Yeah.
Don't
Yep.
tease me that with your little Tim Burton TNA, and then smack me in the face with a sturgeon. I'm still affected by that sturgeon, by the way.
I see that. Apparently, you guys aren't used to being disappointed like I am on a daily basis. So.
Well, maybe that's all four of us work for the state.
That's
so,
actually very true.
Yeah.
We're all kind of used to it, especially when the budget comes out and we find out that we don't get a raise this year. Anyway,
Well, everybody but community college people.
Yeah, we kind of do.
really?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it on this podcast.
Yeah, we do.
We'll talk about it after the podcast. So
High five, Sam.
High five.
so this movie, so that part was great. The intro was good. The music was good. And then it went away from the score and was doing a bunch of just random, 80s and 90s rock. And like In-N-Agata-Da-Vida was great. I thought that was really cool for the moment. I laughed out loud when he started singing the final countdown, which I think was the point.
Yeah.
But that part was
Yes.
great. What was there?
The
was
rapping?
Oh my god, the rapping was hysterical.
Yeah, that was completely out of the blue.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I did too. I thought it was really funny because that was like his. That's how he gets it. He builds himself up. It's his way of, everyone has that music that they listen to. They're like, oh, I've had kind of a bad day. Well, I'm gonna get pumped up. Corny's like, hey, I need to get pumped up, so I'm gonna listen to
Hardcore country.
I was going to say, actually, the only thing I know that would get you really excited is actually Dave Matthews.
That's very true. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Chad listens to gangster rap when he's feeling down. I mean,
like in Office
I kind of
Space,
feel it.
Like in Office Space, he's listening to gangster rap, and the guy pulls up and he switches over to like Vitamin String Quartet. Sam, you used to listen to like
NPR?
you would listen to late 90s, early 2000s, like what we would call butt rock, like Nickelback or Three Doors Down.
I've never heard that term in my life.
Butt rock?
Butt rock.
Yeah, I heard that on a radio interview where
That is awesome.
where they were referring to
That's exactly what it is.
yeah, Nickelback, and they were referring to it as butt rock. Because
I don't know if I'd listen to Nickelback.
but there was like a time when you were when you were doing your workouts, and you actually let me listen to your iPod, and it was full of like, but it also had like sprinkling in of like Rob Zombie and Rammstein and like some other like kind of heavy stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Andrew, I have no idea what it would be for you. Barbershop Quartet. What's your bag?
Rachmaninoff. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't really have anything that like gets me.
70s disco.
No.
Actually, I can see, and it's not just because as in the camera that you're showing me, I see Frank Sinatra over your left shoulder, but I can actually see you listening to some 50s
I
and
do.
60s crooner music and just
Yeah.
being like really like,
Getting chill.
yeah, but like that's how you get your energy back. For me, it's 90s ska. If I'm listening to Real Big Fish or Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, I'm getting fired up. That's just
Oh
me.
God, I love Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess since now we're sharing, mine's actually not Dave Matthews. It would be like anything that was like Incubus-esque.
Yeah.
Donna Summers.
At first I was afraid.
Yeah. One-star reviews from everyone.
What the hell is that?
Jesus. Sam.
Everybody knows I love Chuck Mangione.
Yeah?
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
Never heard that in your life. My life. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard you utter the words Chuck Mangione.
Yeah, well, you should check him out.
I know who he is. I've just never heard you say it.
I think you're just making up words now.
Yeah,
Snorkel.
If National Treasure gave us anything, it gave us that one line. Oh, I can do that. Snorkel. Ah, what a great one moment of that movie.
I like National Treasure.
It's fine. It's a fine movie. There's nothing wrong with it. It's all right.
It's a ripoff of Da Vinci Code, but
Yeah, but it was a better movie than Da Vinci Code.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think so.
Sorry, I was gonna go. No, well, actually, no. It's more far more entertaining.
Yeah,
than Da Vinci Code.
I think you're right.
Da Vinci Code was hard to get off the book onto the screen.
I thought Angels and Angels. Wow,
Angels and Demons.
Angels and Demons was a great book. It's a good read. No, Angels.
Stupid
and,
effing book.
Yeah, yeah. Angels and Demons was actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
I think
but that one was a lot easier to bring to screen because it had a lot less
They don't have
well, it's more actiony.
symbology or whatever you call it.
Yeah, it's more actiony and less thinking. I mean, there's actually some violence and some action and some suspense. And Da Vinci Code is more about they're being chased, which is cool. But
they have to figure out all the codes as they go or the clues.
in that movie. Didn't I have our boy the
Zach
Vision,
Braff?
the Vision, or Paul Bettany? Was that one?
Yeah, he was the abusive monk, right?
yeah, he
The
was
one
the
that beat
assassin.
himself up?
Okay.
Yeah. Self-abusive, yeah. He
Self-abuse.
wore the kliss, I think is what it's called. That it's like like the bride wears that thing that you have, the garter. Well, it's like a metal chain garter thing that he puts around his leg, so that every step hurts, like the Christ. And when he was walking to the cross with the cross, it hurt every step.
Take it off.
I mean, that was how they did things. It was very interesting. You okay, Andrew? Is that mosquito coming after you again?
I killed the bitch. It's right here on my. Oh damn it!
Oh geez, now he's got to wipe it off and whatever.
Right on my mouse pad.
Stop it with the bugs noise, Sam. Jeez, I like how you're just ready to go with that too. You have like a weird sound effects app on your phone now.
No, I'm. It's all. No, yeah, okay.
I was gonna say either that or you're pulling a really good Michael Winslow. Michael.
Yeah, no, I'm
you're
not
right.
that good.
Michael
Winslow from
You're right.
Police Academy. Yeah, he still does stuff
From the person I learned how to do my voice guitar.
I do a really good Carl Winslow.
You didn't actually learn it from him. You do a Carl. You do a Carl Winslow.
Yeah, I sit around and eat. And sometimes wear a police uniform.
Do you yell Steve or
in every movie I'm in?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, they're shooting it.
Right, yeah. If you can recite the "What's in a Twinkie," that'd be pretty awesome.
Oh, by the way, what's the third movie that third thing that Carl Winslow is a cop in? Because we've got it with Family Matters, we've got it with Die Hard, and we've got it with another movie.
I remember
we watched it.
Well, the reason why I should know this because when Steve and I did the Die Hard episode, I actually looked that up. Well, he's in Die Harder. He was in Ghostbusters?
Was he in?
Maybe that's what we saw it in.
Was he in? What's that called? Beverly Hills Cop.
No. You can't have that many black people in one movie.
Was he in RoboCop? The first RoboCop?
He was a jail guard in Ghostbusters. Was he?
There you go.
Maybe that wasn't.
That wasn't it, though. You're right.
Maybe it was RoboCop. No, it wasn't RoboCop.
He was in something else, though.
He's not in RoboCop.
We watched the
movie.
no,
it's Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's Turner and Hooch.
Talk about being typecast.
Yeah, no joke, man. I'm looking at some other ones where it clearly looks like that's what he was doing. One of Her Own is a TV movie. He was Detective Bob Hames. What is that noise? Sam, what are you doing?
Small goat.
Do what?
I don't hear anything.
I hear
I don't hear
the
anything.
background of something. It's not me.
Okay, so either Sam was playing a really mean joke at this point, or he actually is being serious, which I don't believe. I just assume he's always being evil.
Oh, come on.
Okay, it is him.
Like
I know it's you. In fact, because Skype is telling me it's you. In fact, he was also in Chuck as Sergeant Al Powell.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was Sergeant Al Powell in Chuck in the Die Hard episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to watch that.
We need a cop for the show. Who are you thinking about? What
Rachel
about
Bell
Carl
Johnson.
Winslow?
Well, it was funny because the manager of the Buy More that they work at is a large black man, and so they got Reginald
Vel Johnson.
Yeah, Vel Johnson to come in to do to be the cop on the outside who is eating Twinkies, and he's doing that whole bit, and they're cousins.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, my cousin's on the outside. He's going to make sure we get out of here alive. And then he pulls up in a cop car eating a Twinkie. I mean, it's hilarious. But it's only funny if you've seen Die Hard. But you know what isn't Die Hard? The Fantastic Fear of Everything.
Oh, are we doing
Oh,
Oh, shit, I forgot that movie.
I forgot we were doing that movie.
I don't know. He's trying not to die hard.
That is true. He is trying,
Nice save, Sam.
yeah, good job. Whatever to bring it back full circle.
I'm bringing movie back.
I'm going to play this clip because it kind of made me laugh, and it was also
Reginald Vel Johnson is black.
it was a little offensive.
I've got to go meet Ragsy Lawrence. Remember Ragsy, the dancing dyke? She's just been made commissioning editor at the BBC. Can you believe it? Never underestimate a hunchback. That's what I say.
Jeez. That's a saying you have, woman? What's wrong with you? Did you also think it was weird that he couldn't smoke, but she could?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I actually thought that maybe he might have been hallucinating because he was starting to see things. Actually, I didn't know what to believe.
Well, yeah, that was true. Because I didn't know if this was an actual flashback or if this was just something he made up or whatever. So who knows? I don't know. But it was funny, like that weird lurch-looking waiter. Like, no, you can't smoke in here. She's smoking, and everyone else in the restaurant is smoking. So,
Did you catch the connection with the waiter?
what do you mean? To the
That
end?
at the very end.
Well,
the
no.
paper?
That's the only piece of trivia I have for this movie. So don't. Don't ruin
Okay,
it.
I'll leave it to you.
Sam, I'll give you $1 to ruin it later.
We have to save it for something for that segment because there's nothing else that's worth even reading because everything else is useless.
There was a dog in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
I know.
We can't even use the dog thing.
No, we can't. I mean,
Ugh.
I know. I was trying to find something else about this movie real quick. I was actually trying to see if it made any money, and
Be sure to put it in pounds. Because it takes at least 3 to do your laundry.
That's very true, Sam.
3 pound coins. Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
I mean,
A pound would be a coin,
3.
Although, do you say 3 penny coins? 3 nickel coins?
What the hell are you eating?
What is happening?
What?
What is that noise?
What noise?
It's candy wrapper is what I hear.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm a fat man. I know candy.
Either that or the skin of something you just killed and you're playing with it.
Well, you can get it all crinkly if you do it just right.
Well, that's what it sounds like. It sounds weird and crinkly.
It's bacon.
It's bacon. Sorry. This episode is we're off the rails on this one.
Yeah. We knew we would be with a movie like this.
I can't find any type of thing because normally it's in like it has a budget and all that stuff, but this might have been so low budget there might not be any kind of.
Well, it talked about somewhere that this was the first film backed by somebody.
It was the first. Yeah, well, okay, sure, we can do that. It was the first film backed by Pinewood Studios' initiative to support low-budget British filmmaking.
This is low budget.
Oh, this was super low budget. But again, the cartoon and the claymation part was actually kind of cool.
They're probably.
Oh, we lost Andrew. Say it again, Andrew. I can see you on Skype.
Hello.
There you are.
Hey, there you are. Yeah, everybody froze there for a second.
Oh, I guess Skype had a little hiccup. What were you saying, Andrew?
I said the stop motion stuff was probably the most expensive thing that they did.
Yeah, which is probably why there was only a limited amount of it during this movie.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You throw in another 2 segments of stop motion, and I'm a happy camper.
Probably, yeah. I could have done with more of that. Even if they would have done more of his like serial killer telling through that, because the guy who killed his wife, how he makes that weird connection to the fruit producer.
Yeah,
with the little paper guys moving and killing each other. That was pretty funny. I like that. I was really looking for trivia again. I couldn't find any, and I only checked a couple of places. And I might try something else real quick. But did it look like to me? It looked like to me that the apartment that he was in looked like Sirius Black's place in Harry Potter.
Well, like I said, it was very well produced.
Sorry, what'd you call me?
I mean, it looked worn.
I don't know. It just like the apartment itself had that weird long kind of feel to it, and it
I loved how there was a creepy portrait of him or somebody resembling him on the wall.
Right.
I don't know if you saw it, but it was creepy looking.
I mean, there is nothing about this movie. I mean, it made a box office of $96,000 in America. It doesn't have anything for the English. I mean, there's nothing even on Wikipedia. Anyway, it just looked like, because it had that weird tree kind of wallpaper in his bedroom that was in that bedroom in Sirius Black's house. It had the family tree. Anyway,
yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. I don't remember what this one is, so I'm gonna. Oh, this is him kind of losing his mind.
Trust that it was Claire and that she meant no malice. After all, she has no reason to wish me any harm. She had no way of knowing that she was sending one of her clients to meet a man related to a murderer. Only a highly suspicious, paranoid cynic, or someone like me, with an eye for clues and patterns, could possibly connect the dots, could see the truth. staring him in the face. That Harvey Humphreys is in fact Hawley Harvey Griffin's grandson. Ha! No more questions, Your Honor.
I like it when he yells. It was kind of funny. But again, and the joke is obviously that he's, a schizophrenic such and such. Or someone like me who's different. But, that's the joke. Again, whatever. It was just, I don't know. I was kind of bored. I did think that it was kind of funny, though, the whole gluing the knife to his hand bit. It obviously made for some hilarity later on. Obviously, cooking your clothes is not a good idea. I thought that was a...
All right, show of hands here. Who has ever used a microwave to dry a pair of underwear?
No.
I did it once. It was awesome.
Can't say so.
Never done that.
I did. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And,
were they warm and toasty?
They were, actually. They were very warm.
But the next question is, did the next meal taste like your underwear?
It did, and it was also delicious.
Yeah.
My question, are your balls glowing now?
They always do, Andrew, especially when you're nearby.
He has his own little hanging nightlight. Oh, I can't see. I'll just take off my underwear. Oh, I can see now. That's weird.
It's not weird. It's natural.
Speaking of underwear, here we go.
She's trying to block my view of her dryer. What does she think I am, a peeping Tom? Jesus, the size of that. I've never seen anything like it. And another. That thing must have Dunlop written on it. Oh, thanks. Thanks very much. That's just downright impolite. Listen, darling, I don't want to look at your f***ing underwear. It might excite the gentleman in your life, but as far as I'm concerned, it's about as sexy as a couple of buckets, which is what it looks like.
That's the line that reminded me of, like, World of Warcraft, which is what it looks like. It just kind of reminded me of, like, if you hit /joke, it looked like a couple of buckets, which is what it looked like. That's just what it reminded me of. Anyway, that was kind of fun. This also made me laugh.
I'm a victim of circumstance.
Those cops were terrible. Why are all the cops terrible in these types of movies? They're just dumb.
Well, here's the question. What's the last cop movie that we've seen that the cops have been...
Hot Fuzz.
Great.
Oh,
no, I was going to say, yeah, like, can we name a movie where the other cops are actually good cops?
That we've seen as a podcast?
Okay, that kind of narrows it down a little bit.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Because we watch a lot of shite films. Well, yeah, I mean, Beverly Hills Cop, I mean, they weren't bad cops.
No.
His two partners, they really weren't.
They were super cops.
They were,
No, they weren't, no.
Yeah, they weren't bad cops. I'm just trying to think, like... That again, that we've done. We haven't really done a whole lot of cop movies. Well, I mean, Bad Boys 2, the two buddies weren't bad cops either. They were funny and a little racist, but they weren't bad.
Couple of grape sodas.
Couple of grape sodas. What time is it? Oh yeah, low tide. Down to pick up stuff. Oh, I'm not gonna say.
Why you gotta make things racist, man?
Fargo. Right? None of the other cops were that bad.
Actually, the lady was actually really good.
She was good. And the other cops, they were silly, but and kind of naive, but they weren't bad. I'm actually just scrolling through our
Reservoir Dogs.
Bad cops in that movie? Were there any cops in that movie?
No cops in the movie.
Well, no, the undercover cop.
Yeah, actually, he kind of did suck a little bit.
Well, and didn't they get in a shootout, too?
Star Crash. Those were all terrible cops. I'm just kidding. Turner and Hooch? Nah, they were all whatever.
The cop in Silver Linings Playbook.
He kind of sucked and was awkward. Sorry, I'm just...
RoboCop.
Oh my god, yeah, RoboCop. Other than RoboCop and the girl, they were all terrible. And Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like... The guy, they've got like a Gatling gun out in the street and they're shooting the White House and people just keep running out. Like this is Black Ops 2 and you get another life. That was a fun trip down memory lane.
Jumanji. Don't forget the cop in Jumanji.
Yeah, but he was a victim of circumstance too. I mean, the monkeys took his car. I mean, that wasn't necessarily his fault. I'm also laughing.
Could you imagine that report? See, at 1300 hours, Simeon took my vehicle.
Right.
Did not return. Was found later destroyed.
Right.
Was full of feces and bananas
and banana peels. I'm going back and looking at some of our old episodes at the names of our episodes because we didn't start naming episodes after funny things that happened in the show until episode 16 with timeline L'Ashamed.
You're welcome.
And then it just goes downhill from there. Cromwell's Town Affair. Meth. It's a hell of a town. That's right. Oh, memory lane. That was great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to CheapSeatReviews.com, click on the button that says movies or podcast, and you can listen to our previous episodes. This shameless plug was also
for free.
Yeah, this shameless plug was brought to you by the band Europe.
How can you not like this? This is top notch. This is classic rock. No. Technically, this is 80s hair metal. What?
What? I don't know. Have you guys seen that Geico commercial when like the guy puts in his hot pocket and then Europe comes out and
final countdown.
Doom, doom, boom. You know, and like when you're the band Europe, you like the final countdown. It's what you do. Anyway. There's one of my favorite bands is a band called Five Iron Frenzy, and on their live album, the first one they did, they actually opened the concert with that song, with Final Countdown, and then they transitioned into the first song of their actual concert. And they put on they had to put on like social media and stuff like, we did not write that song. We took that from something else. But people kept like, oh, that's such a cool song. Why is it not on your other albums? Like, we didn't write it. Anyway, that's my generation. This is the last clip I got. This was the kind of last little funny moment of the movie, I thought.
Please, please! It's a dead man's last wish! It's just a story to end the cycle! Well, how long's it going to take? Not long, it's very compact! Because I haven't got long. Neither have I!
That was kind of fun.
I feel like the killer was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then, of course, he tells a story, which is an allegory of that guy's life, and then he starts crying and then lets him go and confesses that he's not actually a serial killer.
Yeah, a very adult story about a hedgehog.
Right, getting killed and being turned into a monster and things like that. Yeah,
Cussing.
I mean, yeah. Well, obviously, there's probably no cursing in the actual book. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, Coraline's kind of a dark children's book. Who knows?
How much better would that make that for adults, though, to be reading those books?
Well, there's that
Samuel L. Jackson, Go the F to Sleep.
Yeah, Go the F to Sleep. Yeah.
Have either of y'all actually heard that book?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never heard it or read it.
It's hilarious.
I didn't write down any tropes for this movie because, I mean, there was a bunch of them. You know, you have the cop who's the bad guy. You've got the
creepy laundrette people.
Yeah, stupid cops. I was looking for the ex machina in this movie, and the only thing I can come up with was
the phone.
No, it was the doors. The doors to the van. That's how.
Okay.
But and unfortunately, they don't actually save him. They actually put him in more danger. Now that I think about it, he would have been safer had he gone to jail. But it wouldn't nearly have been fun. I don't know what else would have saved him. I don't know. Storytelling ex machina.
How about torture dungeon ex machina?
Well, that doesn't save him.
No, but it's just there in the laundrette.
That's not what that means.
Huh?
That's not what that means, though. It wasn't just that it was there. It's a thing that. What's the actual phrase? Gloria. Deus ex machina means the machine from God.
Or God from the machine.
Yeah, God from the machine basically means it's a physical thing that comes in at the last moment to save you from God.
Like the torture dungeon.
That's not. No, I'm not sure that's. What
and
that
Sam's back.
Yes.
He came out of the dungeon a changed man.
That's not what that means, Sam.
So this dungeon was put there.
Why does he do this?
I missed this. You guys have been agreeing for the last month, and I just can't stand that shit.
There may be some people listening to the podcast who had no idea what that is, and they're just trying to figure it out. Sam's trying to help them.
But he's helping them wrong. when we did Paycheck, not Payback, but Paycheck. No, actually it was Payback, not Paycheck. When we did Payback, and Mel Gibson was doing inner monologue, and Sam kept doing his narration. I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong. It's not third person point of view. It's inner monologue. Sam sat quietly and decided to slap Opie. Like, no, that's not how it works. That's not inner. You don't think third person. Or actually, in your case, it would actually have been third person. And then you kept saying he. Like, no, now you're in second person. You need to be first person.
The Rock probably goes through and does third person.
But hear me out. All right, you need Ex Machina. It's a machine from God to come help save you at the last minute, right?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
He needed to get tied up in that dungeon in order to become a changed person.
Nope.
No.
Still.
No. No,
Yeah.
don't stop. No, stop.
That's
you're
what
going to confuse the kids.
As a character creates his persona, the hedgehog guy again. And he's happy, and he's got the little Irish girl with him.
She was Irish, Sam.
I miss the Sam so much.
What movie did you watch?
This makes me so happy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's pretty much Lady in the Water, right?
This is fun. It's not an episode of Cheap Seat Reviews if Sam is not driving me to drink. You're the reason why I'm going to be bald prematurely. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, my cheeks hurt.
If you continue to be wrong, you just once you accept the fact, Opie, that I'm right.
Well,
you'll be a happier man.
I'm not going to do that because you're not, and that's what makes this all the more fun.
I see.
Because it's funny because it's not like you're just a little wrong and you're just sticking to your guns because you don't want to admit it. Like, you're way wrong, but it's just fun to be wrong.
Your logic isn't flawed. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
You lift up, Jack. You need therapy.
Yeah, it's not like Sam's going, I'm pretty sure that Back to the Future came out in 1984 or 85. I'm like, no, it was 84. And like we stick to our guns. No, Sam was like, pretty sure that was made in 2011. And anyway.
Well, they went to the future.
They did go to the future, but it was this year, which, of course, the Cubs might actually win the World Series. So I don't know. Robert Zemeckis might be pretty right.
Yeah. He's also racist.
Did you see they just put out a trailer for Jaws 9? Is it 19?
No.
Jaws, yeah, Jaws 19.
In the movie, yeah, but not.
No, someone actually came out with a real trailer.
They just came out with a new trailer for Jaws 19 for the Back to the Future reissue.
That's hysterical. I like that idea a lot. That makes me happy.
And you know what would make it even better?
What's that?
If the shark found a torture chamber that just happened upon it, and then came out a better shark afterwards.
And that's fine. And that's fine. That's what you would call a transformation.
And you would call that Deus Ex Sharkina.
Well, no, it would be a transformation chamber. Maybe even
write that down, Opie.
Even maybe a hyperbolic time chamber, but it wouldn't be. That's not Deus Ex Machina.
Did I just win the episode? I think I did.
So. Deus Sharkina. Good God. How do I even write that? Oh my gosh. I hate you both.
People are going to see the title of this and like,
what do you hate me?
You're playing along.
I'm not playing along.
Yes, you are. You're encouraging him in his wrongness.
That's weird. I don't think you know what the word means.
I like how Google Docs doesn't like my ex-Sharkina as a word.
Shut the hell up, Google. Or what do you know?
Logical word.
Right. I'm also. It's also telling me to hate Andrew because next week we're doing Zombievers. That's also.
Oh, is that next week?
Yeah.
Zombievers is a quality film.
Stop it. All right. I mean, I know we're not doing it yet, but I mean, am I gonna like it more than this movie?
Hey. It's a surprise.
Oh my God, it makes me angry even more.
What the same thing said about
No, here's
rubber?
the real question, Andrew.
Yeah.
Can I watch this at work?
No.
With like the door, with the door shut or something, or
yeah, maybe with the door shut.
Oh, Sam. Sorry, that was being random, but I bumped into one of your coworkers the other day.
Okay.
Or two of your coworkers, but they don't think they know who you are.
They were talking about how you watch inappropriate movies in your office.
Yeah, they've probably got a tally down in
My description
in
of you
IT
was not very
somewhere.
flattering.
You know that weird guy with who watches the weird movies? Yeah, that's him. Yeah, okay.
They're recruiters. That's all.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I know the recruiters.
You know what's not inappropriate? Audible.com. Audible.com. You can get a free audiobook trial, free audiobook, and a 30-day free trial. Go to audibletrial.com/CheapSeat Reviews.
What if that book was naughty? Then is that inappropriate?
He had a lot of books in his apartment that were probably inappropriate. The only thing that I have for trivia, which Sam was going to ruin earlier, but thank you for not. In the final shot of the film, a newspaper billboard, which is partially off screen, identifies the headline saying that a waiter is suspected in connection with bodies being found underneath the Soho restaurant. There you go. That's it. And there's no other piece of trivia that's worth reading. I mean, it just...
No, except didn't they make Simon Pegg go see a movie or something?
No, well, okay. He
What
made
was that trivia?
Simon Pegg and the director Crispin Mills, which sounds like a cereal.
Perfect pig name.
Took their children to a concert by Australian children's group The Wiggles. They were struck by how enraptured the children were by the performers and couldn't help wonder what the men playing The Wiggles must actually feel like from a creatively empowered point of view, as the opportunities to do anything else must be severely limited for them. There you go. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Done.
So you like the Wiggles then?
That's not what I said. I think their children like the Wiggles. I'm pretty sure that they actually kind of hated it. Soundtrack grade. I gave this a pretty good. I don't know what the initials are. Pretty good for not Tarantino, because it had a kind of Tarantino vibe. You know, like all the other like music from different time, which makes me think that makes me kind of actually understand that this was a low budget film. Like, oh, I bet you that music at the beginning was probably either stock that they bought, you know, from somewhere. Because I didn't even actually look to see if they actually had a composer for this or not. But they had a lot of stock. I would bet that's why they had all that music.
Yeah. Or they could just pull up stuff on their phone and play it randomly.
Music by Michael Price.
Price is wrong, bitch.
What? He composed 10 episodes of Sherlock, which is pretty cool.
The
new Sherlock?
Yeah, the new Sherlock. The BBC series.
Kind of like that music there.
Cool.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
I love that series, by the way. I can't wait for the
so flipping awesome
Christmas episode, and then the new. We're filming next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could put this show on a biscuit, it would be very tasty.
What? I was really confused by Lord of the Rings, the music editor. Okay, I was confused because when you click on his name, it says known for Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I'm like, wait a minute. And then Children of Men, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and Return of the King. I thought, whoa, who are you? You are not Howard Shore. And then I realized that he wasn't the composer. He was
lives at the beach.
Not right now. He doesn't. That beach is underwater.
Nice.
There's your recent news or something. I don't know. Current event. What did we
AKA
learn?
It's flooding in South Carolina.
What did we learn? Well, we learned that writers and psychopaths are basically brothers. That's what we learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since this movie is called A Fantastic Fear of Everything, we decided to do our top 3 fears. So, listeners, you're going to get to learn a little more insight upon,
into our psyche.
Of the 4 of us, more than probably either wanted to know or ever knew before.
Mine involves clowns. Actually, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Andrew.
Yes. Sorry. Number 2. Yeah, whatever.
We usually start with 3, with the top 3. Yeah, we go 3, 2, 1.
Well, I just looked at my number 3, and I actually kind of fear it more than number 1. So I'm going to start with number 2. Number 2, I have a fear of bugs crawling in my ears and nose as I sleep and like laying eggs.
Yeah. Okay.
Where'd that come from?
We'll throw up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you've been watching Star Trek 2 a little too much.
Yeah. Number 2. Well, technically my number 2 now is snakes. And this fear stems from when I was in high school. I fell asleep. I was on my bed, and which is where most people fall asleep. And I was laying on my arm, and my arm went to sleep. And I reached up, I guess, in my sleep and touched my arm that was numb, and I couldn't feel it. And I just thought it was just, warm flesh in my bed. And I jumped up and I screamed like a little bitch, and I ran through the house. And my parents said, "What are you doing?" And I told them there was a snake in my bed, and we looked for it for like 30 minutes.
There's a snake in my bed,
right?
And so that, even though that wasn't a snake, it has given me a fear of snakes.
I envisioned you running through the house with like your limp arm kind of flailing
floating behind you.
Yeah, that was the funny part, because I woke up and I was like, my arm was just kind of flapping. And then I realized once I got into my parents' room, I was like, "Oh, damn, that was my arm."
Isn't there like a cartoon?
And you still had them look for this thing?
Yeah. Because I thought, okay, maybe I was dreaming, maybe it was, I don't know. So we looked for it. So it was fun.
Now that I have kids, wow, yeah.
So number one, my biggest fear, and this sounds different than what I really mean, I have a fear of dying alone. And what I mean by that is not necessarily dying without friends or family, but dying in a place where no one else is around.
Oh, I just remembered it.
Okay, like in the middle of the woods, all of a sudden.
Yeah. The movie was 127 hours.
Oh God, yeah.
They're getting trapped somewhere and you can't get out and there's no one around. Because I'll be damned if I'm gonna cut my arm off. I'm just gonna lay there and die. But that's probably my biggest fear.
Interesting.
Okay. Cool. When you said your numb arm and you were running through the house, I was thinking, wait a minute, there's a cartoon or something where I remember seeing a guy running through the house with his arm like floating behind him because he has no control over it. And I was trying to remember what it was, and it's from Horton Hears a Who, when the mayor is getting ready to get a shot of Novocaine because he's at the dentist. She misses and hits him in the arm, and the rest, like for the next few minutes, he walk around, he's like slapping people, and like he can't open doors and stuff. It's actually pretty funny. So that's what I imagined you as, Andrew, as a Who running through the hallway screaming because your arm is numb. Okay, Corny.
All right. So my number 3 is a gig at a biker bar.
Okay.
Really?
A lot of
So,
odd places.
did you say a gay guy at a biker bar?
No, a gig at a
biker
gig. Bar. Playing music at a biker bar.
But those are kind of easy to write, like you show up and there's 1,000 bikes outside. No, not going in.
Well, we've played at some very different
kind of like Blues Brothers-esque.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. My number 2 is getting a flat tire in Alabama.
Okay.
That'll be so far away from home, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
so
that's why you're scared of Alabama.
Why? What would you think?
I have nothing to think of.
And my number 1 is Children of the Corn. Damn that movie to hell.
That's so weird.
People think I'm kind of kidding about that. That thing terrified me for years. I had to watch this movie over 3 days when we did for the podcast. I had to watch it over 3 days in the daytime. I could not do it at night. Yeah, rat bastard.
Oh, I'm so glad that came back.
If I really could, I would actually done Children of the Corn for all 3.
Yeah. Malachi for one, and what's his face for the other, and then the weird lightning at the end.
Yeah, I imagine I could actually handle myself in a lot of other situations, but that movie just gives me creeps. Like I might have a nightmare tonight. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Guys. Thanks.
You are welcome. Now Corny is saying to himself,
I do not like you!
Oh, there you go. So there's our Frighteners callback, because I love that movie.
Stupid effing book.
Yeah. If we had one for stupid effing movie, I'd play that, but I don't. Sam.
All right. I think I've got one here that might be on your same list as you, Opie. Heights. Anything over about 15 feet. I start getting real jittery, and I do not like it. I do not like it at all. And when I worked in construction, you always had to get up high somehow or another. And it was it was weird. It's not the fear of falling; it's just being up high. I just don't like it. So, the other two are
fear of
weird.
everything.
The other two are kind of weird, but they always struck me. My number two is I have reoccurring nightmares about this fear, and that is being in marching band and not knowing where to go next.
Oh,
Thank God I don't have to be in marching band anymore, but somehow I have been abused throughout my marching career to the effect that now I have reoccurring nightmares of being on the field not knowing the next chart.
so I'm going to piggyback off that. Sam. It's not one of my fears, but it's a stupid, annoying dream that I keep having. That I got a call saying that I didn't graduate high school because I was one class short, so I have to go back to high school. But I'm 33 with a kid and married, so like I'm hanging around this school and I don't know where I'm going. And all these
You're
kids are
Billy Madison.
Yeah, I'm 33 and all these kids are 15 and they hate me and I hate life because like I'm older than my teachers. It's awful.
Well, Sam, I would like you to know that in my last year at App, I did have a moment where I actually had to jump into a spot because someone had gotten sick, and I watched the spot I'd never seen. So
Yeah, that would be petrifying to me
just
for
stay
some
between
reason.
those two people.
I pretty much stayed between two people the entire time, and it helped that I knew count wise what to do. So I would just whatever. Well, there was one point where there was a pinwheel, and I didn't know that.
Right. And your number one, Sam?
Oh, my number one is another reoccurring nightmare / fear, and that is dinosaurs coming after my family.
Oh yeah,
that would be really fitting. I would not be.
Of course, it's because Jurassic Park is your favorite movie.
Yeah. It's so weird. It scares me to death in my dreams, but then I wake up and I'm like, that was so cool.
My wife and kids are
seeing
dead,
my
but-
sister mauled by a raptor, that was awesome.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
How
about you?
All right.
Sean?
Number three is just being crushed by something, not being able to move. Like whether it's like.
So if Corny and I sat on you,
that would be awful. I would hate that immensely.
Oh my God.
That's also about 600 pounds worth too. Let's be fair.
Well, I don't know if you'd. I don't know which voice I
Oh,
was going for.
where are you going with this? He started talking. I was like, "What is he gonna go with this?" Number two would be stranded in the ocean.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God! That I couldn't breathe during that half of the movie of Unbroken. It was so awful. Being in that vasty nothingness, to steal a quote from Serenity, and just slowly starving to death. That sounds
have you
awful.
ever seen Life of Pi?
I have not seen Life of Pi, but I'm pretty sure that if I'm going to get stranded in the ocean, I'm not going to have a tiger and weird fish and all this other stuff just happening because the plot says so.
Read the book.
Thank you.
Boat Ex Machina.
Yeah, or Tiger Ex Machina or something. I don't know. And my number one, of course, is, and by course, I don't know why I say of course, but it is, in fact, heights. Though I'm not as sissy as Sam. I can go more than 15 feet in the air.
Yeah, I have a picture of that.
I mean, I worked at Carowinds, the spotlight operator, 80, 90 feet off the air on scaffolding, and I'm fine. Because,
So
what?
So what you're saying is you sometimes can get a little high.
I can go a little high, but if I go too high, that's when I get a little shaky. And of course, we're not talking about drugs.
Right,
Now,
Panama Red.
I will say this. Watching the trailer for that
Mm-hmm.
movie where the guy has to walk the wire across the
Oh my God, yeah.
that
Jit Bob.
the Twin Towers, the trailer makes my palms sweat. Like I get like super uncomfortable, and I have to remind myself. I have to like hold on to my desk to remind myself that I'm on ground. That trailer.
People were actually coming out of that movie with vertigo.
Yeah, I mean, people were like puking in the seats when they saw it in IMAX 3D.
Didn't it happen with another movie? I think either with the shaky cam thing, and people were
like
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch had some issues. Yeah, there was another one though.
But there was a pretty big one. People were like, "Oh."
Actually, I think it was the opening 15 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. People got pretty physically ill on that one. Heights though, like, and I'm weird about heights. Like, it has to be certain kind of heights. Like, if I'm in control of whether or not I fall or not, I'm actually usually pretty good. Like I'm on the roof of the Palladium at Carowinds, or if I'm, I don't know. But when I'm like on a ladder that's like super shaky, and I feel like I'm out of control because if the ladder falls, I have no control over that. So it's like when I lose that element of control is when I can't handle it. Like roller coasters, I'm in zero control, and that's why I can't stand roller coasters. What? You worked at a theme park for 5 years? Yeah, I know. And I rode one because my wife made me, and I kind of hated her for it. So,
Getting stuck on a roller coaster is another one of mine. That just
God. We have a coaster at the park that it's one of those when you sit in a chair attached to a pipe. You just
I do not need a chair.
You spin it around in a circle, and it goes 300 feet into the air. That one was stuck in the air for 2.5 hours. Are you kidding me? No, that would be death.
What do they have, like emergency parachutes to get them down?
No, there's no way to get down from that. It's impossible. The only way to get down, and seriously, because there's not a machine that you can drive into the park that has an arm long enough.
So what's plan B in that case?
Plan B is some poor soul has to climb up the ladder to the top and engage the emergency release valve. But someone has to physically climb up there, and it disengages the hydraulic that keeps it in the air, and it becomes a mechanical drop down as it engages each safety as it falls down. But it's a long process. Yeah, so... Yeah, blah, blah. Just standing under that thing makes me uncomfortable when I'm at the park. Anyway,
standing and staring, and watching.
Yeah,
intently.
Yep. So that's it. That's our top 3.
With passion in his eyes.
And hopefully, you guys, the listeners, now know a little more about us and how to F with us. Yeah, you want to really freak me the hell out? Just send me an email with the video of that new trailer. There's been a couple other movies that got me like that. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like not Interstellar. Gravity didn't really do it for me. That didn't really bother me.
That's so high up, I mean, you wouldn't fall.
You're in space,
Yeah.
Now that space, I guess that space fear is the same one as the stuck in the ocean, right? Is if you're in a suit and getting launched out into space, and you can't. There's nothing to do. You can't.
So what about like The Martian? Does that scare you? The new movie out?
No, not really. I mean, it would not as bad.
Well, he's Matt Damon. He's always going to be fine. We'll always
because he's going to science the hell out of it, like he says in the movie. I mean, if I'm on Mars, hopefully I'm there for a reason.
Has anybody realized that we've spent billions of dollars rescuing Matt Damon?
I know, right?
I love that.
I wish we should put this money towards education, but Matt Damon is so important.
Yeah, I did see that meme today or whatever, and I thought it was hysterical. Between Saving Private Ryan, Interstellar, and this movie, we have spent so much money trying to save him.
One more kind of irrational fear that I have is when the movie Independence Day came out. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know if this was like background footage, stock footage. I don't know what this was. Well, I guess it's not stock footage. But like they were playing something, and it may have been like a preview or deleted scenes or something from Independence Day. And it was on TV, and it was like newscast of the spaceships in the sky. And I don't know how old I was when that came out. Maybe like 5th grade, 6th grade.
94, was it?
Yeah. So like 4th grade then. And I was flipping my shit because I thought for real there were aliens like around the country. And I was like looking out the window, and I was like, I remember getting really upset because I was home by myself.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, we're done. Like, check please. These aliens are gonna kick our asses.
96. Sorry, 96.
Yeah. Okay. So 6th grade then.
Yeah, but still.
Hopefully my parents wouldn't left a 4th grader alone.
Builds character.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of accurate, I guess. That's it. That's our show. Yeah. So next week we already talked about. Oh, not next week. We do not have email, but that's okay.
Oh.
Send us your email.
CheapSeat. What about out of 10?
CheapSeat Reviews. Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's where we are now. So Andrew, out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Goodness.
I'm gonna go with 8.
Oh wow, 8.
No, I'm just kidding. Not really.
I was about to say, good Lord.
No. I don't know. I got a couple laughs out of it, especially towards the end. Wasn't completely terrible, and I've seen worse. I'm gonna go with 5, right in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Okay, 5. Oh, I guess I should write this down, right? Corny.
I'm gonna go with a 5.8 soiled pairs of underwear.
5.8. Okay.
I hardly ever do points, so I figure
just to screw up with the math.
You damn
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
You damn right.
Yeah, you got calculators for that, Sam. Deal with it. All right. Soiled underwear. That's gross. And flying soiled underwear too.
Is this yours? No, it's not mine.
No, it's not mine. Is your name Jack? Yeah. It's got your name in underwear. Oh. I lent it to somebody. This is so dumb. That was so dumb. My favorite line still is when he's is this part.
She's trying to block my underwear. It might excite the gentleman in your life, but as far as I'm concerned, it's about as sexy as a couple of buckets, which is what it looks like.
Yeah. That actually sounds like the Angry Scotsman talking. This is great.
How's that bastard doing?
I don't know. Who knows?
I miss him.
Yeah, I do too. Sam.
All right. I didn't like it. The only thing that was redeemable was the stop motion, and they didn't have enough of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 3 torture chamber ex machina out of 10.
I hate you so much. All right.
Only 3. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Sharknado than this movie.
Oh yeah. Well, that was just.
But
And
see,
Star Crash.
After you see Zombievers, you will will have a new favorite. Sharknado will not touch Zombievers.
Oh my god. Andrew, so help me. If this is another Poltergeist, I am going to hate you so much.
In all fairness, one of my students recommended the movie to me.
I know they did, but you passed the message on, and according to my Google Docs, it says Zombievers, Andrew Jemison next to it. So
you'll have fun with it, I promise.
Oh, well, who recommended this movie? Does it say on there now?
This movie, AOL Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, AOL Jeff said this.
Not AOL Jim.
No.
Or Dave.
No. So in 2 months, when he finally is able to download this episode, he'll hear us talk about it. So.
Sort of. We kind of danced around this movie a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We didn't actually talk about it much because we didn't really want to, apparently. I'm going to give it a 4. 4 glued hands to your knife. Not a euphemism. I was kind of bored. I mean, and if it would have been anyone else other than Simon Pegg, I probably would have hated it more.
Yep.
Or disliked it more. It was only because he was the gangster rap was kind of fun, and that little bit of line there, and some other his little quips and stuff. But otherwise, it was whatever. I'm glad I watched it, but I probably will never watch it again, unless somebody forces me to. We are doing. I said we are doing Zombievers next week.
Sigh.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing Zombievers next week. So leave us a review, right? Anybody watching anything fun right now?
Bought Age of Ultron on Blu-ray 3D the other day.
Cool.
They can be disappointed in high def.
Yeah, I know.
I actually still like that movie a little bit. That's cool. I'm not watching anything, so I did watch the pilot for the Minority Report TV show. We'll see. I like the movie a lot, so we'll see. Yeah. So leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher, because that's the good thing to do. It's the patriotic thing to do. If you love your country and your mom, you should leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Visit our website, CheapSeatReviews.com, and vote. What movie will we watch as our final episode of our Halloween spectacular?
Can you just go Halloween?
Halloween.
I don't know what's happening.
It's a silent H.
Yeah. Halloween, eh?
Halloween.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/CheapSeatReviews, and follow us on Twitter @CheapSeatCast. I am at Sean J. Allred. Sam is at Saniji16. Corny is at Johnny Darko16. And Andrew is at A. Jemison. I did it right.
Please follow me. I have a really important need for followers.
Uh-oh.
No, not really. I don't ever check Twitter.
Oh, that's good. I actually do. I like the Twitter. Please send us your emails to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com. We will read them and love them and stroke them and pet them. I don't know.
Creepy.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we don't get any emails. So again, on behalf of Corny, Andrew, Sam, this is Sean saying goodnight. Chad, we miss you. And, go wash your underwear.
How can this be for the greater good? The greater good. Shut it!